Got a match here from the Premier League with Nottingham Forest against Wolves. Forest here, 2.12 favourites. So let's just look at the goal markets, and we can see over and under, yeah, pretty much 50-50. So anyway, it's a hard one to call. We've covered a lot of these score lines, 0-1, 1-0. Obviously, we're favouring Nottingham Forest, who are the pre-match favourite. But it's one of those matches you do feel could kind of go either way. Anyway, we're fully prepared for it, and let's see how this one develops in play. Okay, we've got a lot of these score lines covered. Around £67 of profit potential. Nottingham Forest against Wolves, just about to kick off. We've just reached half time, and it's Nottingham Forest 1, Wolves 1. Wolves took the lead, Forest have equalised. So we're on this 1-1 scoreline, and so in a bit of a sticky situation in this trade. Remember, we entered it favouring Nottingham Forest. A lot of those score lines are now dead, but we are on this 1-1, as you can see. So what we can do, we can start to lower the risk down on this trade. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it around, and what you can see is I'm going to put all the liability on the 1-1. That's what we're going to do here. We've got to try and dig ourselves out of a sticky situation. So we're moving the liability onto the 1-1 scoreline, and you can see that hopefully very shortly. Hopefully it gets taken in this clip. All right, it's being taken now. So this is slightly different. We're not going down to 0 on the 1-1. We're moving all the liability on it, which is going to lower our risk substantially on the rest of the trade. Okay, and this is definitely worth doing, because if Wolves go 2-1 up, we're definitely in trouble. So anyway, that's pretty much being taken. And anyway, yeah, let's just see what happens in the second half of this one. 57 minutes on the clock. Nottingham Forest have taken the lead, or have they? Okay, it's definitely, well, it's been a goal. They've got the ball over the line, but the VAR are running some checks. So look at the market. It's not fully accepting that this is a goal just yet. So we're going to have to take a pause. Wait for that goal to be confirmed, and then we will be right back. Okay, we're back. The goal was confirmed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lay off this 2-1 scoreline to Nottingham Forest. This is obviously good news that Nottingham Forest are taking the lead, but we're not out of the woods yet. And so we are going to lay it off. And to be honest, our final target score is going to be the 3-1 to Nottingham Forest. If that does come, then yeah, I mean, we've turned this tricky trade into a good one. But we've got to put this down to 0 on the 2-1. Okay, because obviously Wolves 2-2, we need to get some green on that just in case that scenario does develop. But anyway, we're looking for 3-1 to Nottingham Forest. If we can hit that, then we're out with something from this. But yeah, it's not been easy. Let's see what happens. There's about half an hour left to go in this one. Nottingham Forest 2, Wolves 1. 64 minutes. We've had another goal. It has not gone the way we wanted. It's 2-2. So Wolves have levelled it. That gives us the, well, puts us on the 2-2 scoreline with that £17 of profit. So that 3-1, the 184 potential profit, is not a possibility anymore. And to be honest, we're probably just going to leave it at that. We're just going to leave it at that. It's Nottingham Forest 2, Wolves 2. We've got £17 of profit on that score. That's a 17% return. Considering this has been a very difficult match to trade from the correct score market, we should just be happy. We're actually going to walk out with a positive result from this one, because this could easily have gone very, very differently. We've ended up on the 2-2, which was not a scoreline we covered initially also. So anyway, you've seen how this one played out. We're just going to be thankful for a positive result on this one. We're out. Forest 2, Wolves 2. So that Nottingham Forest against Wolves match, it actually did finish 2-2. So they had all their goals early on, and then the final 25 minutes plus time added on. Nothing after that. But anyway, this trade was a good example of when you're trading the correct score market, you always have options. Now at half time, we were in a bit of a sticky situation. We were already dead on a few score lines. I did mention before the match that I thought this would be quite even. Wolves were then showing at that point that it was going to be quite even. And so we had to take some sort of action. I decided we're going to move all our liability onto what was one of our target scores initially. Okay, 1-1 was one of our target scores. A lot of people might just leave it at that, hope for the best. However, I looked forward and thought that, well, it's probably not going to remain this 1-1. So let's move all our liability onto it. And remember, at the same time, we're not like we're taking further risk. Okay, so our initial liability was that £100 stake it always remained at that £100 stake. Okay, you might see some examples out there that people put out there where it's like, oh, okay, we'll enter the trade with £100 of risk, and then, oh, it's going badly. All right, let's throw another £100 of risk. Let's throw another £200 of risk. Suddenly, you're looking at risking your whole bank to try and dig yourself out of the trade. As you saw there, we did not add any sort of additional risk to the trade. But as said, you've always got options when you're trading that correct score market. That was one of them. And you saw a good example of, I mean, what we did there, just took an early exit when it was going wrong. Okay, so we ended up on that 2-2. There was still options. There was still stuff we could have done after that. But it was never going to be the ideal match where we were going to potentially make 100% return on our stake, was it? So when that happens, you're better off just exiting early and moving on. Okay, there are so many football matches to trade. There's no need to stick with one which is not quite going to plan and ending up taking silly risks, etc., etc. Just take an early exit when it's not going to plan. Move on to the next one. Okay, and also it's a good example of how we actually did profit in the end, didn't we? Okay, we still made a 17% return on our stake. It's not the type of aims we're aiming for when we're trading the correct score market, but it's still positive. We still profited even though this match went terribly wrong. Okay, we ended up on a 2-2 scoreline, which was not one of our target scores, and we ended up on that 2-2 scoreline at 65 minutes, so still fairly early on in the match. So anyway, that's a good example of why trading the correct score market, look, you've always got options and you can profit even when you get it wrong. And as said earlier, if any of this correct score trading looks interesting to you, you want to learn more about it, make sure you get this free download. It's the Correct Score Mastery course prospectus. This will show you how you could potentially take things to the next level with your correct score trading. To get this free ebook, the link is in the description of this video. Just scroll below the video, click on it, fill out the form, and then we'll email the book to you. If you're on a big screen, you can scan that QR code and then fill out the form, and we'll email you the book also. Okay, it's absolutely free, and it will be the next step towards potentially learning and mastering the correct score market. So if you've liked anything you've seen today and you do want to learn more about it, then that's the next thing to do. Okay, go grab a copy of that. As said, link in the description or scan the QR code. And what you've just seen was actually just a clip, and we've got plenty more where that came on. So the video on the screen right about now should direct you to the full video where you can get more information, see more live trades, more analysis, how they played out, etc., etc. So go click on that video and we will see you in that next video. It's highly recommended. Go check it out.